What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Jesus Coin yet again. Becoming one of my favorite meme coins, man. Definitely the most profitable so far of this cycle for me. Love it. I hope it is for you too, and if not, just give it time. And not financial advice, right? But I would bet in time it'll do for you good things, if it hasn't already. The community in itself is a good thing. But looking at this here, the Uniswap wallet, I've got this pulled up because this is like the highest that I've seen it, man, like ever. And here we are coming off the lows, and it's that high. That means people did not buy the lows, guys, and that's great. That's great, man. That you don't. I know. Oh man, I know it's a conflicting battle, but you want you don't want. Not everybody can win. Not everybody can win. And in fact, 90% of people will lose and 10% of people will make money. That's the statistics, you know. So unfortunately, seeing this is good, in my opinion, for the price. Seeing that there's still a lot of tokens out there for people to buy to send the price up is great. Seeing that we had that much of a bounce with still, I'm pretty sure that's the highest number I've ever seen on this. I think it was at 5.8 earlier. That was actually a little bit higher, but that would imply that a lot of people have sold down here, right? They didn't sell up here. When it was up here, it was worth like 3.9, 4.3. But down here, it's at a whole nother trillion. Like we added a solid bit to that Uniswap liquidity pool there, or like what's available on Uniswap. That's not in like personal wallets, right? That's encouraging, in my opinion, because that just means that there's more room for people to buy, and you want to see, again, I don't know how to word this without it sounding bad, but you want to see the majority of people be wrong, because the majority of people are wrong whenever it comes to most things, not just crypto, but most things. You know, obviously we can all agree that the sun's going to come up tomorrow. Maybe not the flat earthers out there, but the sun goes around, whatever. We can expect to see the sun tomorrow, one way or another, however you want to spin it, right? The majority will be right. We can go outside and expect to see clouds. The majority will be right on that kind of stuff. There's always exceptions, but with crypto specifically, if the majority of people are right, that should be like if everybody's making money, you should get out, because it's not going to be for long, right? Not everybody can make money for long. And in fact, again, the statistics are something like 90% of people, more than that, don't make money whenever it comes to charts. But I know that there are a lot of Jesus Coin faithfuls out there. I heard that, I saw a post by Maker Lee. I actually want to go right now on x.com. What a great name. Twitter, whatever, that's longer, but x.com, so much shorter. Let's look you up, Maker Lee. Here we go, man. Maker Lee. I'm following you, man. Why is it not Maker Lee? There you are. It's the space thing. I got to do the space. 9.95 trillion Jesus coins were sold by 19 whales in the last 30 days. Last 30 days, okay. How many days ago was 30 days? Let's see. Okay. So in the last 30 days, maybe some of them sold up here. It looks like most of the volume was down here. So the whales, unfortunately for them, have actually not been playing it smart, it looks like, right? They might have gotten scared on that burn not burn event, right? Maybe they wrote it up from all the way down here and they took their profits still. Good for them. If you're making profits, good job. But they doesn't look like to me that they sold at the right place, in my genuine opinion, at least most of them. There's definitely some volume up here for some people that sold, and back here even, but that was more than 30 days ago. He's saying that almost 10 trillion tokens were sold by 19 whales in the last 30 days. But here's the good news. The liquidity pool only increased by $2 trillion, which means people scooped it up, right? Right? There's still a lot left to be scooped up too. Yeah, right? He's just basically saying the same thing with a little bit of a different information in there than I was saying, but just talking about the liquidity pool being more available. This means over 5,000 new holders collectively bought 40 million. I don't know if I believe that they bought 40 million worth, right? I don't know how that would work. My brain doesn't compute that. Like maybe there was 40 million in volume, but that doesn't necessarily equate to there was $40 million worth of Jesus being bought, Because if we look at Jesus, its market cap is less than 40 million. And again, I suppose it is possible. It's not that I suppose it is possible. It is 100% possible to have more money invested in a coin and the market cap be lower than that total amount. But to me, that doesn't make sense. But the math, I mean, I get where he's getting the math from, but I think it might be volume, not worth. But I say I get where he's getting the math from. Maybe I don't get where he's getting the math from. But he's definitely, I think Maker Lee's a smart guy, so, I trust that he got that. He's not just pulling that number out of his butt, But let's see here, actually. Maybe he multiplied the liquidity over the last, 30 days or something like that. I really don't know. I don't think that would be the case because the liquidity is always here. That would put it at more than 40 million. But anyways, 11 out of those 19 whales are now completely out of Jesus. So out of the 19 whales that sold in the last 30 days, of that 10 trillion coins that got sold, 11 out of those 19 are out of Jesus. The majority of the top 30 whales haven't moved at all. The majority of the top 30 haven't, but 19 of them have, right? Or wait. 19 whales, so maybe that's not the majority of the top 30, but still you can be in the top. You don't have to be in the top 30 to be a whale, I guess is what he's saying there. But yes, this is good stuff. I know that my talking might be a bit confusing, but check this out. It's definitely a bullish thing, man. To hear that, right? I love hearing that people who are holding a lot of this that can dump the price. That 19 or 11 out of 19 of the people that got out, they're just out completely. I love hearing that because that means that out of those 5,000 new people that are investing in Jesus coin over the last 30 days, they're the ones that scoop that up. It's more decentralized. I love that, man. I really do love that. I love hearing that. That's definitely great for price growth. The more decentralized, the better. You don't want it to be centralized as far as one person or a small group of people holding all the assets go. That's not good. You sometimes the price runs up, but at some point someone's going to take profit, and that can really dump the prices, and that's probably why we saw some price moving down, right? Because the whales were selling. So I don't know if I would constitute as a Jesus coin whale, but I've definitely got I don't know, less than 100 billion coins. I've got less than 100 billion, but more than 50 billion coins. And I plan on riding this thing all the way up, man. I don't plan on adding more to Jesus coin unless it were to go below this low. If we see the 7-0 zone, that's the only reason that I'm kind of hoping it goes down there, because I would love to add more to it. But I've got a decent bag, man. I'm not trying to add more to it. It's already more than I ever thought it would be. And 15 billion of those tokens I accumulated down here. Almost 16 billion actually I accumulated down here. So I added more as it was going up. I bought on these dips, and the only time that I didn't buy a dip was up here, right? I bought a day that it was red, but in anticipation that we'd go up, and we actually didn't go up. So, of course, the Sell the News event was real, and whatever, man, that's okay. We're recovering very well. Let's get into the actual TA. I'm talking way too much right now, but let's actually get into the TA of things. On a daily basis here, this is a long-term RSI, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. I was like, that looks a bit stretched out to me. There we go. Rejected the 60, lower highs. We're back in this zone, but we did break out of it, right? We absolutely did. We didn't get, I was hoping that we'd get a little bounce right off that line, but we didn't, and that's okay. Nonetheless, I think that we're in still some kind of a downtrend, but I don't think that we're going to go lower than these lows. I think we could form a higher low. We might not even go lower than we are now. Yes, we closed the day red with a 13% day to the downside, but we are holding this area where we had this the biggest dump in one day, probably where a big whale with holding a lot of coins sold, right? That's why we don't want whales to hold the coins. I mean, you need whales. There's always going to be whales, of course. If a whale comes in, it's someone who's not a whale, and they come in and they scoop up a bunch and they become a whale. That will drive prices higher, just as someone unloading it does. But you want to see it spread out. You want to see it decentralized. That's good for sustained growth, continued growth, without seeing humongous sell-offs like this in a day. But we found support on that line. We found support on it. And yes, we did close out of this. That's okay. I'm not worried about it at all, man. I think that we are getting ready to go higher. we could consolidate for the next few days, and I'll give you my reasons why. But again, we bounced right off that 382 as well. We don't have confirmation yet. We'll see how today closes. If today goes lower, we could stand to go a little bit lower. I'm not worried about taking this low out at all. I'm not worried if we go lower. That's okay. But if we look at the Heikinashi, somebody in the Discord was talking about it. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Jack. Maybe it was Diesel Killer. No, it was Jack Bandit. Okay. Jack Bandit, I'm putting you on blast here, bro. He probably doesn't mind, though. At least I hope not, man. I don't want to offend anybody. It's offensive times we live in now. But yes, the Heikinashi did flip red. It did flip red. And all that tells me is not that this uptrend is over. It's just maybe it's on pause. Something like this, I very much doubt that we resume going to the upside today. I very much do. It can happen. It can happen. But more or less, we're probably going to consolidate for a few days, maybe even a week. Right here we had 4, here we had 3, here we had 3, here we had 4, here we had 3. So I think we could expect to see at least like 4 days of maybe moving slightly lower or just kind of moving sideways. We don't even have to move lower today. And in fact, isn't today green? Yeah, today's green, and the Heikinashi is still red, right? So we can move up a little bit. We can move down a little bit and still be forming this like to the downside for the next like 3 to 4 days or something like that. But I would expect that sometime next week we probably do resume the move to the upside. So in that time, if we go lower than this low, that's okay. In that time, if we close lower than this low, that's okay. As long as on a daily basis we're not closing below here. Really, also I'd prefer us to not close below there. That'd be nice. And just for those of you who know, oh, by the way, Lucky Spirit, shout out to Lucky Spirit. He requested Jesus Coin yesterday, and I didn't give him a shout out because I was going to talk about it anyways, but I thought about that today. So shout out to Lucky Spirit. 601691. That's kind of cool, right? That's kind of like an interesting number in itself there, man. Yes, I know a lot of people think 69 is like, oh, it's 69. It's an innuendo. No, 69 is like a number of balance, and you got it sandwiched between ones. It's like an upside down. If you flipped it upside down, it would still look the same. Like I don't know. It's kind of a cool set of numbers. But whatever. What I'm trying to say is if we close below there, I would be a little bit worried, but still not too worried as long as we're not closing below here, getting prices really below there. I am looking forward to a higher low. This absolutely could have been the higher low. If not, we might still be looking for it, but nonetheless, I'm very optimistic for Jesus Coin. I'm very optimistic for the news that Maker Lee has delivered us, keeping us up to date with some stuff here. And yeah, man, I don't really know if I have anything else I want to say. We are holding support right now at previous areas that we've held support before. Bouncing off the oversold zone, man. Like, look at this, right? You cooled way the hell off on your 4 hour. You were overbought. You cooled way the hell off. All the way to your oversold zone. You have no problem being overbought. You don't want to be oversold, apparently. You have a problem with that. Not only that, but you've got higher lows, right, throughout this whole scenario here. But relatively speaking, you do have a low here, a higher low in price, low here, lower low in the RSI. That is hidden bullish divergence. We have technically this is a lower low, but I would say you're still in an uptrend nonetheless. Even with this being technically a little bit of a lower low, you're still in an uptrend. So that would mark continuation. I wonder what you're doing on the 123 real quick. Let's see here. Get rid of that. You are below the 50, so you could see some sustained movements to the downside. But again, maybe today you move up a little bit, but I personally wouldn't expect that the day flips green, so I wouldn't expect that we're resuming our uptrend just yet. But maybe sometime next week we do, is what I'm thinking. So that's all I got. Expect price to be boring for a few days to a week, probably less than a week, but probably about a few days or maybe even a little bit more. But then we can talk about resuming this movement to the upside. So that's all I got for you. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more. I probably won't make any videos, even if you request them. Unless something exciting happens, I probably won't make any videos until it gets exciting again, because I do expect it to be rather boring for the next few days. I don't want to come on here and just say the same thing over and over again. If there's something exciting, you guys, I promise I will make a video. Okay, if there's something worth talking about, I promise I will. But the less videos I have to make, the more freedom I have. you know, and I think that we will all be okay without a video for the next 3 to 4 days, okay? And if not, if things get exciting, if we move up, you're gonna see me tomorrow, okay? I promise. But I do expect things to be boring probably until middle of next week. Might be late next week. It might be early next week, but at least for the next few days. So yeah, take care. Farewell. And yeah, man, go Jesus Coin, go. I love this thing, man. I love all of you. Take care. Bye bye.